the chairperson, to hand over the signed copy of the Treaty of Accession to the Secretary General as custodian of documents of the East African.
I wish to welcome Your Excellency to this historic day in the growth of the community as we witness the accession of the Federal Republic of Somalia to the Treaty for the Establishment of the East African Community. And as I said earlier, Your Excellency, this is also live in our televisions, and therefore we have many East Africans witnessing this. And first and foremost, Your Excellency, I want to extend my sincere appreciation and gratitude to Your Excellency President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, one of the founding fathers of the community, for agreeing to host us today, and also remaining steadfast to the cause of regional integration. From where we sit, we regard you as a de facto father of our community, Your Excellency.
I'm glad that the Secretariat decided to have this ceremony here. And I am here now in I think, 4 capacities. Capacity number 1, I belong to one of the most indigenous tribes in this part of the world, who have been here for a long time, our tribes here. So I can tell you what was happening long before the Europeans came, before the Arabs came. I am here. I have all the information. Secondly, I am here as an activist who for the last 60 years we have been pushing for some of these African programs. Number 3, you heard that I was one of the founders in 1999 when we resurrected the East African community in Arusha. Now, number 4, I am still around here as a sitting president. So therefore, it's my duty to, again, as I told you in Arusha, to remind you of the logic. What is the logic of East Africa? Why? Why East Africa? Reason number 1, for the last 60 years, following our elders, Mwalimu Nyerere, Mzee Kenyatta, Jaramogi Odinga, Tom Mboya was a big supporter of the integration. Joseph Murumbi. I will not mention Njonjo. That one I will not mention. That one was on another line. But these people are then the ones in Tanzania, in Burundi, Rwagasore, Lumumba in Congo. So this has been the group that has been pushing for this logic. And what is the logic? 3 points. Question number 1. Do you want prosperity for your people or not? If you say you want prosperity for your people, then the question is how? How will you achieve it? Will you achieve it by getting aid from Europe or what? No, the answer is no. The only way you can achieve sustainable prosperity is when you produce a good or a service and sell it. You sell it today, you sell it tomorrow, you build up prosperity of the home, prosperity of the company, if you have got a company, prosperity of the country. But then, if you say prosperity comes from selling goods and services, who buys? Who buys? That now leads you to the next question, that the more buyers you have, the better. This is really the logic of number 1, prosperity. Do you want prosperity for your people or not? And if you want examples, they are there in the world. The United States is now one of the richest countries in the world. But neighboring, there is Latin America. In terms of natural resources, Latin America has got more natural resources than the United States. More water, more minerals, more forests, and yet they are the most miserable people in the world. You see them walking on foot, going to the United States to look for food, to look for running from a resources-rich continent to a much less richer part of the world because of the other one is better organized. That United States created space for people who want to do business. If I'm a businessman in New York, what I produce can be sold up to California. So how will I not be rich? How will I not be progress? So therefore, the challenge which the Africans have is what are you trying to do? Are you trying to build a Latin America in Africa or a United States of Africa in Africa? If you say you are determined to build a Latin America in Africa, then God bless you. So this is the first logic. The second logic is strategic security. How can we be secure from, you see what's happening in the world, the wars, the what, and what happened to us? How can we be secure? Can Uganda alone be secure in the world? Even if Uganda becomes a developed country, can it be secure really? Against America, against China. Now, suppose China decides to become an imperialist power. They are developing now. They don't have a lot of resources inside China. There are very many people there. Suppose they are saying, we are too many here. Some of us should go to Africa. How shall we defend ourselves against? So that's why we say the second logic is strategic security. And so I welcome to Uganda. Uganda is your home. You are most welcome, and I congratulate Somalia for Somalia is already part of the community. I'm sure if you go to Mogadishu now, you'll find goods in the shops from Kenya. I'm sure from Kenya or even from Uganda, if you go in the shops. So this idea that what is happening now is baptism of what is already happening on the ground. Do Muslims have baptism? Do they baptize also? Thank you. I thank you so much, and I welcome you to Uganda.
Our mission is clear: strengthen friendship, contribute to prosperity, and actively shape a brighter future for the population of this community. Somalia's membership is not just timely but natural, enhancing the bloc's trade and investment potentiality. Somalia's geostrategic significance will elevate the community's global reference and strategic importance. Somalia's integration will strengthen people-to-people connection, benefiting the East Africa in various aspects. As I said earlier, Somalis are already here in the East Africa community. We are part of the family, but today, as His Excellency President Museveni said, we have been a newly born for the purpose of legitimacy and legalization.
Today's ceremony signifies a commitment of both Somalia and East Africa community to come together in the spirit of African unity for the mutual benefit of our peoples. Your Excellencies, as Somalia just joined the East Africa community, we have got a major boost in the integration, particularly in the regional and continental trade under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. As I conclude, peace and security is key for economic growth, political stability, and sustainable development. We shall continue to work for peace and security in the entire East Africa. On behalf of the people of East Africa, I would like to warmly welcome Somalia into the East Africa community. Congratulations and thank you very much.
Council of Ministers, Honorable Ministers, and Key Secretary General of the East African Community.
When I need them, I speak with them in Acholi. They speak Acholi, I speak Acholi. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania. We were Germans in Tanzania before. Now, we were cut off. In the north here, we will go to Chile. Chile is a lango. Very much, and I congratulate Somalia. I was telling His Excellency, in 1968,
Thank you very much, Your Excellency, for the words of wisdom. Every time you speak, you inspire so much.
Shabab in Somalia, recovering vast lands, and recent milestones in international relations showcase our shown by the 7 brotherly states that were in the community before us.
Somalia, along with the rest of the member of East regional trade and financial transactions, Excellencies, as I conclude, peace and security is the key. And thank you very much.
Is P.